She said, "It's just a dance, relax," while grinding on her ex at her sister's wedding. So I left before dessert. Now her ex blocked her, her family's embarrassed, and she's begging me to talk. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I always thought Rachel and I had something solid. We met at a friend's birthday party 2 years ago, and from the start, it felt easy. She was funny, confident, had this way of lighting up every room she walked into. I'm quieter, the kind of guy who listens more than he talks. She said she liked that about me, that I balanced her out. Somewhere along the way, that balance started feeling one-sided. Rachel worked in event planning, so her weekends were usually packed with parties, weddings, and corporate things. I didn't mind. I trusted her. Whenever she'd text me that she was out late with clients or coworkers, I'd just tell her to have fun and be safe. I never wanted to be the insecure boyfriend. But after her ex, Dylan, started popping back into her orbit, I noticed the tone of things shifting. He was a high school boyfriend, someone she hadn't spoken to in years, at least that's what she told me. Then one night, out of nowhere, she said, "Guess who I ran into at the coffee shop? Dylan. He's actually not as bad as I remember." I didn't think much of it at first. People change. Old acquaintances reconnect. Fine. But then Dylan started showing up in her stories. Group photos, work mixers, totally random run-ins. The first time I mentioned it, she rolled her eyes and said, "You're reading too much into it. We're just friends." I dropped it. I didn't want to be the jealous boyfriend. Still, it was hard to ignore the shift. She became a little colder, less affectionate, more sarcastic. When I'd ask about her day, she'd sigh and say, "It was fine. You don't have to ask every single time." If I texted something sweet, she'd leave me on read and later say, "Sorry, I was busy." At first, I thought she was just stressed. Her sister's wedding was coming up, and she'd been helping plan every detail. I tried to be supportive, helping her sister and fiancé with last-minute errands, covering a few expenses when the catering went over budget. Rachel said it meant a lot that I helped her family. Her parents loved me too. They'd tell me I was the calm one Rachel needed. I think part of them knew she could be reckless sometimes. The week before the wedding, we were all having dinner at her parents' house when her sister mentioned Dylan was invited. Rachel just shrugged. "He's friends with the groom. It's not a big deal." Her mom shot her a look, but Rachel waved it off. "Ethan's not going to get weird about it. He's secure." I smiled politely, but inside, something twisted. I wasn't angry, just uneasy. There's a kind of tension that doesn't come from jealousy, but from feeling disrespected in small, quiet ways. I'd felt that growing for months. 2 nights before the wedding, Rachel texted me late. "Just a heads up, Dylan might be there with a date, so don't make things awkward." I stared at the message for a while. Not, "Are you okay with that?" Or just letting you know. No, don't make things awkward. I typed out, "Noted," and left it at that. She sent a thumbs-up emoji and didn't text again until the morning of the wedding. Still, I told myself to keep calm. It was her sister's big day, and I wasn't going to cause a scene or ruin anything. I just wanted to be there for her family, for the people who treated me kindly even when she didn't. When I arrived at the venue, Rachel looked stunning in her bridesmaid dress. For a second, I almost forgot the tension. She came over, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "Try to smile today, okay? My family loves when you pretend to be social." Pretend. I laughed it off, but that one word stuck with me all afternoon. During the ceremony, I sat next to her parents. They whispered about how proud they were of their daughters, how beautiful everything looked. Rachel caught my eye once from the altar and smiled like nothing was wrong. I believed her, or maybe I just wanted to. But that feeling of calm wouldn't last long. The ceremony ended beautifully, and for a while, everything felt almost normal again. People were laughing, the band was playing, and everyone looked genuinely happy. I told myself to stop overthinking, that Rachel was just being herself, social, lively, the center of attention. Dinner went by fine. I talked with her dad about work, clinked glasses with a few of her cousins, and tried to stay in the moment. Rachel floated from table to table, checking on guests and helping the bride. Every so often, she'd stop by, touch my shoulder, smile, and then disappear again. Then came the reception. The DJ dimmed the lights, and couples started filling the dance floor. The newlyweds had their first dance, followed by the usual mix of upbeat songs. Rachel was out there immediately, pulling her sister and bridesmaids into a circle, laughing like she didn't have a care in the world. I stayed seated with her parents, sipping a drink, watching the whole thing. Then I saw him, Dylan. He walked in like he owned the place, sleeves rolled up, tie loosened, that smug grin you instantly want to wipe off someone's face. He greeted a few people, hugged the groom, and before long, he was on the dance floor too. Rachel noticed him instantly. Her smile changed, not in an obvious way, but just enough that you could tell it meant something different. They started talking. At first, I told myself it was harmless. They were standing a few feet apart, laughing, catching up. But when the DJ switched to a slow, sultry song, everything shifted. Dylan put his hand on her waist. She hesitated for half a second, glanced around, then said something I couldn't hear, and suddenly, they were dancing. Not just side-to-side, awkward wedding dancing either. No, grinding. His hands were on her hips, her back pressed against his chest, her hair brushing his jaw. Her parents noticed too. Her mom's face fell, her dad muttered, "Jesus Christ," under his breath. I froze. My chest felt hollow, like someone had just pulled the air out of the room. Rachel looked over her shoulder mid-dance and met my eyes. And instead of stopping, she smirked. Actually smirked. Her dad whispered, "You okay, son?" I nodded slowly, stood up, and walked toward the bar. I needed air. Or maybe I just needed to stop feeling like an idiot in a room full of people pretending not to see what was happening. I heard Rachel calling after me as I passed. "Ethan, come on, it's just a dance. Relax, just a dance." That line stuck in my head as I set my drink down and looked back at her, her hands still on Dylan's shoulders, the two of them laughing like nothing was wrong. Her mom tried to step in, but I didn't wait to see how it played out. I walked right past the buffet table, through the exit, and out into the night air. I didn't yell, didn't cause a scene. I didn't even text her. I just walked to my car, got in, and drove home. When I pulled into my driveway, my phone was already lighting up. "Rachel, where did you go?" "Rachel, you're being dramatic." "Rachel, it was literally a dance. Everyone saw it. Stop making it weird." That last one made me laugh. A bitter, quiet kind of laugh that comes from finally realizing you're done. So I turned my phone off, left it face down on the counter, and sat in silence for a long time. I didn't show up for brunch the next morning. I didn't text her back. I didn't need to. By the time she got home that night, the lock code was changed and her things were in boxes by the door. The next morning, I woke up to 30 missed calls and a flood of texts. Some were from Rachel, some were from her mom, and a few, to my surprise, were from her sister, apologizing for what happened. Apparently, word had already spread through the family. Rachel's messages started out defensive. "Rachel, you seriously left over that?" "Rachel, everyone thinks you overreacted." "Rachel, Dylan means nothing. It was just fun." Then they turned pleading. "Rachel, can we just talk? Please, I'll come by." "Rachel, you embarrassed me by leaving like that. We need to fix this before people start talking." Then came anger. "Rachel, wow, you're really gonna ghost me?" "Rachel, you're not innocent either. You've been cold for weeks." "Rachel, don't act like you're perfect." That one made me laugh again. It's always the same playbook. Minimize what they did, deflect blame, and then rewrite the story. By noon, her mom called. "Ethan, sweetheart, Rachel is very upset. She said there was some misunderstanding." I took a breath. "No misunderstanding, ma'am. I just don't want to be with someone who grinds on her ex at a wedding." There was a pause. Then her mom sighed. "I told her it was disrespectful. She doesn't seem to get it." "Yeah," I said quietly. "I noticed." I hung up soon after. I didn't know anyone to debate. That afternoon, Rachel showed up at my place. I didn't open the door, but I watched her from the window as she stood on the porch, messy hair, sunglasses, clearly hung over. She called through the door. "Ethan, can we just talk? You're making this bigger than it is." I didn't respond. "Are you seriously ignoring me like a child? It was one stupid dance. Everyone was drunk. You're acting like I slept with him on the dance floor." Her voice cracked a little at the end, like she knew she'd lost control of the story. After about 10 minutes of shouting, she gave up and left. 2 days later, she posted a long, vague Instagram story. One of those some people can't handle a strong woman having fun type of rants. I didn't take the bait, but mutual friends started reaching out. "Dude, what happened? Rachel's telling everyone you overreacted and stormed out. So I told them the truth, calmly, without spin. She danced with her ex in front of her entire family and told me to relax. That's all. It was enough. People could connect the dots themselves. Over the next week, the tone of her messages changed again. Rachel, I miss you. Rachel, we can get past this. You know we're good together. Rachel, please just talk to me. I can explain. Explain what exactly? I already saw everything I needed to see. By the second week, her texts started slipping from sad to bitter. Rachel, so you're really just done? Rachel, I didn't cheat, Ethan. God, you're pathetic. Rachel, you'll regret this. No one will ever love you like I did. That last one was funny. The kind of thing people say when they're not used to losing control. I didn't reply to any of them. Not once. Then, a month later, I heard from one of her cousins. Apparently, Dylan, the guy she was grinding on, had started seeing someone else almost immediately after the wedding. Rumor was, he told people that Rachel threw herself at him that night, and he was just being polite. Rachel didn't take that well. Her cousin said she'd been drinking a lot, arguing with her parents, and even got into a fight with her sister for ruining her life. I didn't feel pity, not anger, either. Just nothing. The silence I gave her was louder than any argument ever could have been. A few weeks passed, and the wedding incident started to fade from people's immediate conversations, at least for me. I went back to work, focused on the gym again, and started feeling human. Rachel, though, wasn't so lucky. Her sister's marriage video got uploaded to Facebook, the full thing. Somewhere around the 30-minute mark, you could clearly see Rachel grinding on Dylan while her parents looked mortified in the background. People shared clips, commented, laughed. It became the running joke of the entire family circle. Apparently, whenever someone's wedding playlist played a slow song, someone would mutter, "Careful, don't pull a Rachel." She hated it. I wouldn't have even known if not for a mutual friend, Megan, who told me over coffee. She's miserable, Ethan. Her family barely invites her to stuff now. Her mom said she embarrassed everyone. I nodded. That's rough. I didn't mean it sarcastically, just neutrally, like someone reading the weather. She's still talking about you, though, Megan added. She told me she thinks you'll come around once you cool off. I smiled. She might be waiting a long time. About a month later, Rachel texted me again. Rachel, I've been thinking a lot lately. Rachel, I know I hurt you, but we had something real. Rachel, can we meet? Just to talk, no pressure. I left it on read. A few days later, Rachel, I've been in therapy. I'm working on myself. You'd be proud of me. Still nothing. Then came the voice message, the kind you can tell was recorded after a few drinks. Her voice was shaky, half angry, half sad. You think you're so perfect, Ethan? You think walking away makes you better? You loved me once. What? That means nothing to you now. I didn't reply to that either. The next day, she showed up at my workplace. I was standing by the front counter when I saw her through the glass door, sunglasses on, holding a coffee like she was trying to seem casual. I stepped outside before she could walk in. Rachel, I said calmly, keeping my voice even. You shouldn't be here. She frowned. I just wanted to talk. We can't end like this. It's been months. There's nothing left to end, I said simply. Her voice rose. You can't seriously still be mad about that stupid dance. I gave a small, tired smile. Mad? No. I just stopped caring. That one hit her. She blinked a few times like she didn't know how to process it. I made a mistake, okay? I was drunk, and I didn't think. But you just disappeared, Ethan. You didn't even let me explain. You did explain, I said. You told me to relax. Her lips parted, like she was about to argue, but no sound came out. She just stared at me, jaw tight, then looked down. Everyone hates me now, she muttered. My mom barely talks to me. Dylan's with some girl from his gym. It's like I lost everything at once. I stayed silent. Finally, she looked up again, eyes glossy. You used to love me. Doesn't that mean anything? I took a breath. It did. But love doesn't survive disrespect. And once that's gone, there's nothing left to fix. She stood there for a few seconds, waiting for me to soften, but I didn't. She let out a shaky laugh. Wow. So that's it. You just don't care? Not anymore. She blinked rapidly, biting her lip like she was holding back tears. You're cold, Ethan. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I just finally learned to match your temperature. She scoffed, shook her head, and walked away without another word. I watched her leave, not with satisfaction, not with anger, just a quiet sense of peace. That was the last time I saw her in person. 6 months later, I almost forgot Rachel existed. Life had settled into something quiet and good. I was promoted at work, started training for a marathon, and spent weekends with people who actually respected my time. My apartment felt bigger now, cleaner, calmer. Then one Friday night, I got a text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's me. Can we please talk?" I stared at it for a few seconds before realizing whom he was. I'd deleted her number months ago. A minute later, another message came. "I saw you in Megan's story. You look happy. I'm glad. I just wish things had gone differently." Then, "I miss you, Ethan. I really do." For a second, I almost ignored it, but something in me wanted to hear what version of reality she was telling herself this time. So I replied, "What do you want, Rachel?" She responded almost instantly. "Just closure. I've been through a lot since the wedding. I lost friends, my family's still cold to me, and Dylan turned out to be a total piece of crap. I guess I just wanted to say sorry. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. You were always good to me. Maybe too good." I leaned back, looking at her messages, the same words everyone uses when the world stops enabling them. Before I could even type, another one came through. "I know you probably hate me, but maybe we could get coffee sometime? Just to catch up?" I typed slowly. "No need. I've already got closure." She replied, "You really don't care anymore, do you? After everything? After us? You just moved on like I never mattered?" I took a moment, then sent my last message. "You mattered. You just don't anymore." She didn't respond for a while. Then finally, "Well, guess I deserve that. I hope she treats you better than I did. If there's someone else." "Is there?" I smiled at the screen, not because there was someone, but because I genuinely didn't feel the need to fill the space she left. "There's peace now. That's enough." And that was it. No more messages. No drama. Just silence. A few months later, I ran into Megan again. Over coffee, she mentioned Rachel had moved back in with her parents, quit her job, and was taking time to figure things out. Apparently, her dad still refused to talk about the wedding. Her sister's husband had banned Dylan from all future family events. And whenever someone joked about pulling a Rachel, she'd leave the room in tears. Megan asked if I ever thought about reaching out. I just shook my head. I don't hate her. I just stopped trying to understand her. She smiled. "You're doing better than anyone expected." I shrugged. "I'm just done entertaining chaos." On my walk home that evening, I passed by a restaurant with a wedding reception going on inside. Music played, couples danced, people laughed. For a split second, I thought of that night. The lights, the music, her voice telling me to relax. And then the thought passed, like smoke. That's the difference between then and now. She wanted attention. I wanted peace. And peace won. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.